Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back at the Reverb Outpost. In today's episode, we're going to be doing our third World Tour and Download Day. Now, right now, we're just kind of wandering around because I don't want to show anything off until I am ready to explain everything that we've done so far in this series. But for those of you that have been watching since the beginning, you will have seen pretty much all of this. But we've got some new stuff that has cropped up in between episode 30 and episode 45 that I'd love to show off, especially for any newcomers. If there's anybody that has just started watching this series, this is a good place to jump in. I would always encourage you to go back and watch like the beginning parts of this series to see how the whole world was developed. But this is a good place to jump in if you're just wanting to get a basic overview of what we've done so far, so you can, pick up right here and watch from this point forward. So without any further ado, let's get started with our world tour for today. And there it is. There is the base right over there. You can see it from here. You can see the cargo ship that we've been working on, which we'll come back to here in just a little bit. I want to show that towards the end because that's the project we've been working on most recently, but we'll start over here. You can see we've got a nice little row of cacti, growing here for our green subscriber barracks that we just started in the last episode. We got some sugarcane. We need to get some more permanent farms set up for this kind of stuff, so hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. And it looks like we're a little bit laggy because I turned up the render distance, just so you guys could see everything from further away as we were approaching, but now that we're here, I'm going to turn it back down. Give me just a second to do that. Alright, we should be good to go now, and let's start over here. We'll start where we start every single time we've done a world tour. This is our snow cave, our starter snow cave that we built very early on in the series, and we've got another portal, and we'll go in there in a little bit just to check that out. We've got our starter area where we had our first set of storage. Nothing really crazy in here now because we have a relic room where we've moved all of our first tools and special items from this series, but this is where we started out. We got our first bed, crafting table, anvil, furnace, all that good stuff. Oh, and we've got our pups over here. We've got Rocky, and then we've got Sky. We need to get some name tags for these guys and get them named up so that we, don't forget their names, but Rocky and Sky, 2 dogs. And then on through here, we've got our first farm, and we've got some potatoes growing, and we've got some pumpkins growing right now because for some reason my my snow golems keep disappearing from my little snow farm down there, but that's okay. On down here, we've got our branch mine, which it's nothing crazy to look at, but I go every 2 blocks, I start a new branch mine, and then I go 2 more, and then I start another branch mine. So that's basically what this area is. It's where I get all of my supplies. I honestly have not done a ton of branch mining in quite a long time. The first time that I did some branch mining was actually yesterday off camera, and it's been a while since I've done branch mining besides that. So good to go back mining and get some more resources and kind of refuel some stuff that we were running low on. And we got a bunch more diamonds in that session as well, so that's always good. And then let's go on up here. This is our first storage room, and it looks pretty puny compared to what we've got going on with the cargo ship. But this is where we stored all of our supplies pretty much from episode 1, well, not episode 1, whenever we built this room. I think it was in episode 2 or 3, all the way up until about episode 37, 38, when we started the cargo ship. This is where we stored all of our supplies. So we've definitely expanded our capacity for storage because some of this stuff is pretty maxed out. I mean, if you look at enchanted books, we're pretty maxed out, and these shulker boxes are both pretty full of enchanted books as well. Speaking of enchanted books, on through here, this is our first enchanting room, first and only in this world, and I think eventually we'll build another enchanting room over in the main base that's a little bit more grand and massive, but this is pretty cool for the snow cave because it's got that ice spikes feel, like one of the ice spikes from up above has sunk down into the cave, and these are the roots of it. And we dug it out and used it for an enchanting area because, it's a magical place. Ice spikes have magical properties to them and, give us our enchantments. not really, but that's what we're going to pretend. So that's it for the snow cave. Let's hop on out here and actually let's go into the nether. Let's do this. All right, so we are in the nether, and I don't think we went down here in the last world tour, but this, we'll go on down here. This is where we fought the Wither for the very first time and only time in this series. We fought the Wither a couple times on this channel, but only once in this series, and I do need to fight the Wither again at some point because I have some plans, this is where it was, for another beacon at some point, like some creative ideas like we had with the power beam, and we'll show that off here in a few moments as well. But look at this place. Look at all the damage. I dug out a very small room that was about the width of all of this this obsidian right here, and the Wither just like destroyed this entire area. So if we fight the Wither again, we're probably not going to do it in here. We're probably going to go to a new place that will probably end up looking exactly like this when we're done with it. So we're going to fight the Wither again. Let me know, do you guys want to see another Wither fight on camera? Or would you rather me do that off camera and just get to the work with the beacon that we get from that fight? I know some people are down for adventures and for boss fights and stuff like that. Some people are really enjoying the builds. Some people like to see caving. I know there's a lot of variety of what people like to see in this series. So let me know in the comment section. Would you like to see another Wither fight? Or should I take care of that off camera and just get to the creative build from the beacon, the nether star that we get from that? Let me know. Okay, so we just got out of that hallway there. That's back towards the base, and then on down this way, a few hundred blocks, if I remember correctly, is our end portal room. And I haven't done anything to the end portal room just yet, but I want to hop on into the end just to show you, in case you haven't seen, because it's been a while since we've worked on it. I want to show you what we worked on in the end and what is still sadly broken at this point. I haven't done a whole lot of work to try to fix it because I've been pretty busy with other stuff, but I'm going to try to make that a priority sometime in the near future. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got an Enderman farm in there, and for some reason the spawning platform is not working at all. It got broken in one of the updates. It was spawning just fine, and it spawned pretty slowly. It was only like maybe 5 or 6 Endermen at a time, and then you have to wait a couple minutes and you get a few more, and then you know, you just keep going with that. But I don't know, for some reason they've completely stopped spawning altogether, and I can't get it working again. So we're gonna at least hop on in here to take a look at what it looks like. But I do have plans to do something with this area at some point. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I do want to make a nice looking ender portal room like we did in the last season of the Let's Play. I don't know if it'll be as big or you know, crazy, but it'll be something. But on down here, this is the lane to get us to the Enderman farm, and you can see it coming into view now. Oh my goodness. Well, I cannot believe that just happened. I don't even know what to say. We're not going back into the end. There's no reason to go back in there at this point. All of our stuff is gone. So, happy World Tour and Download Day, our brand new Mending Unbreaking 3 Elytra. Who knew that was going to happen? I wasn't even looking at any Endermen. There weren't supposed to be any Endermen down there. The farm was not working. So, let's get past that. I'm just really happy that we didn't get all of our good tools back. We only had a mending pickaxe and a mending elytra. Worry not. Where is it? I've got another elytra. It needs mending and unbreaking 3, so we can get that at some point. It's not going to take too terribly long to do. But all stuff's gone. It wasn't a ton of fantastic stuff, but all of our stuff is gone. So, moving right along, let's go on into the base. The next place right here. Still can't believe that happened. This is what we worked on in the very last episode. This is the trench, and it's basically a defensive setup. Oh, that's no good. There we go. It's a defensive area where, you know, we can sit here and protect the base from any incoming intruders, and it's a very, very basic start. We're going to build this place out a lot more in multiple directions, and I've got plans to, like, I'm not sure if it's going to be right here, but potentially, like, have it dip down and go into an under part of the base, and then maybe over this direction we can have another entry point that dips down and goes over that way to where the subscriber barracks and Patreon armory is. But we'll eventually expand this as time goes on, because I've got plans for a massive, like, battlefield out here where there's a lot of action going on and different things like that. So that's it for the exterior, except for our cargo ship. And then let's hop on in here. This is the interior. Oh, no. Let's go back out. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but this is definitely notable. Something that we worked on. This mountain. This was in the last World Tour and download day, a square box. That's it. And so we terraformed the entire thing, made a mountain out of it. The only part that's not done is over there. We've still got some rooms to build in that general area, so I want to wait until those rooms are complete before I terraform the rest of the mountain over the top of that, but for the most part, this mountain is pretty much complete. And then the lava up there, that is the exact same lava block or entity or whatever you want to call it that we put in a bucket from the very beginning. There was a lava flow at the top of the original mountain that we took out because it was getting in the way of our build. So I took it out and I saved it for months. And then when we finally terraformed this mountain, we got that lava back in there. So that's in there and ready to go. And before we go back in, let's grab some food really quick because I forgot we lost it in the end. Again, still can't believe that happened. But you live and learn. You keep going on. This is just apparently a regular thing for me on this series is losing stuff. So I apologize. You're not going to get to play with any kind of minting stuff in this World Tour and download day. But maybe we'll release another one pretty shortly after if we can get some stuff back. Anyway, this is our personal starship, and the name is blanking me at this point. Oh, the Nebula. The Nebula. That's what this is called. It was suggested by one of my subscribers, so that is what this ship is called. Then we've got our auto smelter, which looks very cool, linked up to some redstone lamps that signifies when it's fueling up the ship. So when this thing is powered on, with enough items, it will activate the fuel line and fuel up our Nebula ship. So then on through here, hallway's not complete, ignore it because it's pretty ugly right now. We'll fix it up a little later, but this is the power beam room, and this part is not complete either. I forgot about that. We need to fix that up as well. So there's still some stuff to do in this room, but it's looking pretty good so far. This is our charged creeper that we captured and found in the wild, which I'm glad we did this before Update Aquatic came out, which is still not out yet as of the time that I'm recording this, because in Update Aquatic, if you can get a trident with channeling, then these are pretty easy to get. But this is the only charged creeper I've ever seen in survival. And so we captured him, and the story behind this is that the charge that he carries is being sucked up into these little pipes here and then carried into the power beam, which powers the station. So we can flip this switch, which I'm not sure if this is going to stay here or not, but there's our beacon. It powers on, and we get a couple of beacon effects, and then we can go in here and shut it off again. So if we don't want those particles flying around all the time, we can turn off our beacon at any time. Then we can go on up here and up these unfinished ugly stairs. So much work to do, so many things that need to be done as far as detailing goes. We'll get to it, but we've got our input chests for the auto smelter right below. So this is where we put the fuel, and this is where we put our smeltable items or things we want to cook, like fish or chicken or steak or whatever we want to do. Oh, and I forgot, no elytra. I usually fly off that ledge, but no elytra. Okay, so over this direction, a couple of things. Down here we have a finished build. Over here we have an unfinished build. This is our iron farm, and our anvil refill station. We need to make this room look a lot better. I still don't know what I want to do with it yet, so I'm still holding off, but we're going to do something with this room at some point and make it look better. But on down here, this is our collection area for our iron farm, and as you can see, resources are completely depleted. And here's why. We finished up the storage room, the cargo ship. We finished up the interior redstone work, at least, and I will show that off in a minute because we did not finish that on camera. The only thing left to do was put in a bunch of hoppers, so I figured that was not worthy of just using an entire episode for, so I went ahead and did that off camera. On in here, we've got our sheep farm with every single color sheep possible in the game, all 16 of them. And we've got individual chests for each one, which are all hooked up to an auto sorting system. So all we got to do is when we shear the sheep, we can come over to this chest right here and then drop them into the input system. It will go up and around and into our auto sorting system. So then we can go collect any color wool that we want at any point in time, which I do use quite a bit of wool for the beds in the subscriber barracks. So it's good to have a multicolored sheep farm like we have. And speaking of the subscriber barracks, let's head on over that direction right now and check out the work we've done over there. Alright, on down these steps, we're coming up on the first 2 subscriber and Patreon sections that we did in the game. So over here, there are a bunch of beds. This is the light blue squadron for the subscriber barracks, and we filled this place up pretty quick, and I decided I don't want to keep going that way because the river runs like right above that, and it was getting a little tedious to fix that up. So then when we decided not to keep going with this, I decided, hey, that'd be pretty cool to have multiple colors for different squadrons. And so those are on down those steps, which we'll go to in just a minute. And then on in here, this is the armory for anybody who has become a patron on Patreon. For anybody that's been a patron on this channel, whether they are still active as a patron or not, they have a permanent home in the Patreon armory. So that's what that is for. And then on down here, we've got the next 2 subscriber barracks that we have built, and we're just going to keep on expanding. So on over to the left, we've got our purple squadron, which is now complete. We have, how many are in here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. 16 beds in each squadron. And then on over here, this one was just started in the last episode. This is the green squadron, and I think we'll add somebody else today, but if I don't have time and I don't get around to it, we'll do 2 in the next episode. But that's the green squadron, and we're getting pretty close to being done with our tour. There's not a whole lot left to see. Just a couple of more builds that I want to show you. I've been to the zombie farm several times. Oh, how am I forgetting this? Over here, personal area. So eventually we're going to fix this up when the cargo ship is complete, but this is basically the outside access to the cargo ship where they would load in all of the supplies that are being brought to the base. So we'll do some cool stuff with that a little bit later. This is our relic room. We've got our first set of wooden tools, a stone tool. We only had 1 stone tool before we moved on to iron. Our first set of iron tools and armor on display. Our Ender Dragon armor that we fought the Ender Dragon, the egg from that, and then our armor that we fought the Wither, and then, you know, because we like to lose things, these are the only tools that survived a fall into a 1x1 hole in the nether, into lava, because the reason that they survived was because I didn't bring them with me, which I got to start learning that lesson. Lesson learned today. Lost everything. Once again! We just keep coming back to it. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to bring down the tone of this world tour. It is exciting. There's been a lot of progress on this world so far, and I'm really excited about it. It's just so frustrating to lose everything that you have multiple times. Over and over. Over and over and over. Many of you have said, just stop taking your good stuff with you when you go on these types of trips. I'm going to start listening because this is not good. We can't keep doing this. On down here into the trench, the cave that's connected up to our starter trench, is the zombie farm, the zombie spawner. And this thing, it's working a lot better now. It is putting out a lot better spawn rate now that I've lit up a ton of caves underneath it. So we're getting some pretty good spawn rates in here at this point. It used to be pretty slow, and it still is relatively slow, but it does a lot better now. We get level ups a lot quicker at this farm. So that's basically it for that. Let's head on back up top, and then I think we only have one more thing to show off, and that is our cargo ship. All right, so right now this thing just looks like a massive bullet. It doesn't look a ton like a spacecraft, but we'll get there. We still got to add some landing gear. We got to add some rockets, jets on the back. We got to add like a door to get into the inside of it, and I think that's gonna go on the front here. I think we're gonna put like a little ramp up to the first layer of storage, and then we'll go on inside here and check out what we've done. But yeah, all the aesthetic work, it still needs done. We got to do all the exterior. We got to do the place where the pilot goes. We've got to finish the staircases on the inside, but here you go. All of the redstone is complete on this, and I have checked it all. I have checked it all. If I can just speak for a couple of minutes, we'd be good here. But I have checked all of the redstone. Everything is working, and I will show you with these 61 fish, the only thing I have to my name right now, because it's all gone again. I'll show you the working input system. So let's go on up here to the second level. And on through here, eventually we'll have a better staircase. It'll be better. But we've got to build that out. Not ready yet. This is the input chest for our storage system. So we'll drop all of that in there. And while that is funneling through the system, I do want to show you all the work that we did off camera. So we've got all of this done. This was done in not the last episode, but 2 episodes ago. We got all of these hoppers in place, and then I said we got to the end here, and I wanted to do something a little different with it because of the flow, and I'll show you why we did that. So basically, instead of going straight down and back around the storage system to the other side, I backtracked. Can we get over here? Nope, I cannot. So we'll fall down, and that's okay. I backtracked this line all the way back down over here, and I'll explain that here in just a moment, to this point where it drops down and then picks back up, and it goes that way and on around to where it ends here. The reason why we did that is because I want this last little section of chests here to be overflow. I want it to be a place where there are items going that are not necessarily being sorted, that just need to be thrown in a chest somewhere, and we don't want to have to do it manually, so we put it all in the input system, and if it doesn't find something that needs to be sorted, for example, the first 5 slots that we've done here, and you can see we've already got some items in these, if there's not a particular item that needs sorted, that just needs to be in the system, it goes down here. So, theoretically, it should be enough time by now. All of our fish should be in this chest because it funneled all the way down to this one right there, and they're not there yet. So give me just a second, and we'll make sure these come through. Oh, I was about to go to a cutaway, and there it is. We've got all of our fish coming into the system. So you can see that it does work. It does take quite a bit of time because it is going through several hundred hoppers to get to this point. Is it several hundred? I think there's 100 modules, plus all of the in-between, plus the backtracking. It's probably somewhere close to about 150, if not 200 hoppers to get all the way around the system. So it does take a little while to sort through, but it is working. So once we have all of our items in these frames and in the actual sorting modules, then this thing will be up and running and be probably the best storage unit that I've ever built. It's 2 layers, going to have some pretty cool stuff on the interior, but that is for another episode, another time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time that I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and that you're excited to get this world into your own hands on your own device to explore and take a look at all of the stuff that we've built and worked on from the very beginning of this series. If you have one of the previous world downloads, once again, this is progress made from episode 30 to current episode 45. So we're doing a world tour, world download about every 15 episodes, and I hope this is a good good schedule for doing something like that. I hope you guys are happy with this amount of time. I don't want to do any fewer episodes than that because I don't feel like we can get enough progress done in, say, 10 episodes to get, you know, a significant world download for you guys to really, you know, notice a difference. So 10 episodes seems a little bit low. 25 seems a little bit high to me, so I think that like 15 range is pretty good because we can get a decent amount done. But here's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm going to have to decide. I'm thinking maybe for episode 50, because we've never had a series that's gone 50 episodes before. That's only 5 episodes from now. Maybe we'll do another special download day. I don't think it'll be a world tour. I don't think we'll do another one this close. But maybe I'll release another download, especially after the tragedy of today. If we can get some of our good tools back in the next 5 episodes, I plan to work pretty hard at that. If we can get those back, then maybe we'll, you know, have reason to have another download day on episode 50, and that'll give you guys something to look forward as well. It's only 5 episodes from now. That's not too crazy long. And, you know, maybe we'll have some more progress done on the cargo ship by then as well. So, anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, what you think about this world in general, and what you're excited about for the future of this series, because I've got a lot of pretty cool ideas to come in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see anything built on this series as well. I'm still open to subscriber feedback. I'm always open to, you know, hearing what you guys have to suggest and giving some things a try. So, let me know in the comment section what you thought. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not already. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.